You did not arrive in this moment by accident, and your pause is not random. Your spirit recognized a trumpet beneath the noise. You have wondered why your road felt delayed, why your name seemed hidden behind curtains while others were lifted into rooms you could not enter. Hear me now. What looked like rejection was protection, and what felt like silence was a forge where your strength was being hammered into shape.
I speak to you from the scarlet threshold where mystery becomes meaning, and I tell you that your hidden season was never empty. You were not buried because you were forgotten. You were planted because your roots required sacred darkness. The world measured you by visibility, but heaven measured you by depth, endurance, obedience, and the quiet fire that did not go out when no one applauded.
You were never meant to be built under the glare of every eye, nor shaped by the unstable hands of public opinion. Applause too early can intoxicate a soul, and criticism too soon can crush a calling before it has bones. So you were covered, not because you lacked power, but because the power within you needed structure strong enough to carry its own crown.
Yes, they underestimated you, walked away from you, dismissed your tears, misunderstood your silence, and called your waiting weakness. But they did not see the invisible architecture rising beneath your life, stone by stone, prayer by prayer, surrender by surrender. Your foundation was being laid underground, and foundations are never celebrated while they are being placed, yet everything lasting depends upon them.
You asked whether you missed your calling, whether your choices ruined your future, whether heaven had changed its mind about your name. You watched others move ahead with lighter burdens and louder praise while you labored in obscurity, and the comparison cut deeply. But your journey was never being graded on their timeline, because your assignment was too weighty to be rushed into shallow light.
Isolation became your classroom, silence became your teacher, waiting became your training ground, and disappointment became a blade that cut away false dependence. You were stripped of the need to be constantly affirmed so you could learn to stand when approval vanished. You were taught to move without applause, trust without proof, obey without guarantees, and breathe even when the room felt empty.
Do not despise the years when progress felt invisible, because seeds split in darkness before they ever greet the sun. Roots do not ask for witnesses, they descend, gripping what is deep, preparing the tree for winds it has not yet seen. The longer the root, the higher the rise, and your delay was often the mercy that made your future survivable.
Every tear you cried alone mattered, and every prayer whispered through frustration was heard in the chambers beyond sight. Every time you chose faith over fear, discipline over despair, and patience over panic, a record was being written in golden light. You may have felt unseen by people, but you were never untracked by heaven, never nameless, never abandoned, never without purpose.
The same force that hid you is now stirring the veil, and the pressure you feel is not merely resistance, it is transition. What was formed in secret is preparing to be tested in the open, and the air around you may feel charged because your season is shifting. Do not confuse discomfort with defeat, for birth often arrives dressed as pressure before it reveals itself as breakthrough.
Your spirit may now feel unsettled with the familiar, and what once comforted you may begin to feel like a cage. Old conversations may taste empty, old environments may feel heavy, and old habits may no longer fit the mantle forming across your shoulders. This is not confusion, this is discernment awakening, teaching you that you cannot carry yesterday's chains into tomorrow's revelation.
When you step forward, do not expect revelation to arrive only with trumpets, applause, and a crowd shouting your name. Often the revealing begins with responsibility before recognition, with assignments before admiration, with weight before celebration. You will be placed where you are needed, not merely where you are praised, because your life is not built for display alone but for impact.
Some will suddenly see what they once ignored, and others will feel threatened by the strength they can no longer explain away. Do not be surprised when support becomes selective, when celebration grows quiet, or when familiar faces become distant watchers. This is not always betrayal, sometimes it is separation, because not everyone who knew your seed can honor your harvest.
Resist the urge to explain every scar, defend every decision, and prove every invisible battle you survived. What is truly revealed by heaven does not need frantic self-defense. Your fruit will answer questions your mouth was never assigned to address. Consistency will become your testimony, and the stability built in hidden places will speak louder than argument.
Do not mistake increased attention for increased favor, and do not let visibility seduce you away from the discipline that preserved you. Prayer cannot become smaller just because the platform becomes larger, and humility cannot fade simply because opportunity expands. The open season tests what the hidden season taught, and many fall not because they lack gifts, but because they forget the fire that refined them.
You are not hidden to make you timid, and you are not being revealed to make you arrogant. You are hidden to become rooted, and you are being revealed to become useful, luminous, steady, and dangerous to despair. Your authority is not for domination, but for service, not for vanity, but for assignment, not for applause, but for the liberation of what sleeps inside others.
There are divine connections waiting for you, people aligned with your next season who will recognize your spirit without demanding performance. They will bring peace, clarity, correction, accountability, and strength, not confusion, competition, depletion, and noise. Pay attention to those who sharpen without wounding, honor without idolizing, and walk beside you without trying to possess your destiny.
Old temptations may return, and old fears may whisper your former name, but do not bow to echoes. The battle changes when you become visible. Preparation becomes preservation, and what was built in private must be guarded in public. Stay alert, stay grounded, stay close to the voice that steadied you when no one else understood your trembling.
You may sense a miracle approaching, but do not reduce it to numbers, coins, or the shallow glitter of human measurement. What some call a trillion is only a poor metaphor for the scale of restoration, wisdom, favor, courage, and open doors gathering around your name. The true miracle is not merely what arrives in your hands, but who you have become while waiting for it.
If the air feels different around you, if your breath catches, if your body recognizes a signal before your mind can interpret it, pay attention. There are moments when heaven speaks your name with a force that rearranges the atmosphere, not to flatter you, but to summon you. This is such a threshold, not ordinary, not casual, not meant to be scrolled past by the deeper part of your soul.
Imagine your name written in golden light, not as a fantasy of superiority, but as a declaration that your life carries meaning beyond survival. Imagine mighty messengers standing beside the record of your endurance, not begging you into fear, but urging you into remembrance. You are not small because people overlooked you. You are becoming vast because what shaped you was larger than their opinion.
Your closed doors were not always denials. Many were barricades against premature exposure, draining alliances, and battles you were not yet trained to endure. Had you been lifted too soon, the pressure might have shattered what had not yet been strengthened. Delay was not cruelty, it was strategy, and strategy often looks like stillness to those who cannot see the war map.
Your hidden season also revealed the parts of you that needed healing, the places where pride, fear, insecurity, and doubt had planted quiet roots. You were allowed to feel small so you could learn a strength not dependent on performance. You were allowed to be lonely so your inner altar would become real, not decorative, not borrowed, not built for spectators.
Now you must walk forward with confidence without becoming careless, and with boldness without becoming unteachable. You must speak when it is time to speak, remain silent when wisdom requires silence, and move only when the command inside you is clean. Your pace does not need to imitate anyone else's, because comparison is a thief dressed like urgency.
The revealing season requires patience just as the hiding did, though its temptations are different and its pressures louder. In hiding, you fought discouragement, invisibility. You must fight distraction, flattery, haste, and the subtle hunger to be understood by everyone. Let your roots remember the dark soil, and let your crown remember the hand that formed it.
When people ask how you became so steady, they will not know the nights you prayed instead of slept. They will not know the battles you fought in silence, the discipline you developed while no one watched, or the courage it took not to settle for lesser comfort. The results will seem sudden to them, but you will know they were watered by years.
Do not become bitter toward those who did not see you, because bitterness chains you to the very season you are leaving. Let their misunderstanding become wind at your back, not poison in your blood. You do not need revenge when revelation itself will speak with elegance, and you do not need to shout when your life becomes a living answer.
You are entering a time when what felt scattered begins to align, and what felt wasted begins to reveal its hidden use. The pain, the waiting, the closed doors, the detours, the tears, the strange solitude, all of it becomes material in the architecture of your becoming. Nothing surrendered in faith is lost. It returns transformed, bearing a name you could not have given it earlier.
Guard your heart as you rise, because your tenderness is not weakness and your sensitivity is not a flaw. The same depth that made the hidden season painful will make your revealed season powerful, because you will perceive what others ignore and speak to wounds others cannot name. You are not being hardened into stone, you are being strengthened into a vessel that can carry both fire and compassion.
If your life still feels quiet, do not panic. because silence often precedes the clearest sound. If the door has not opened, do not claw at it, because forced entry can cost more than patient alignment. The moment appointed for you will not require you to betray your soul in order to enter it.
When the door opens, step through soberly, gratefully, and fully awake. Do not shrink because you remember who you were in the wilderness, and do not inflate because others finally notice the light on your face. Walk as one who has been trained by shadows, purified by waiting, and entrusted with a flame meant to warm more than your own hands.
I call to the part of you that nearly quit, the part that wondered if faithfulness was foolish and endurance was wasted. You are still here because something stronger than exhaustion held you steady, and something deeper than disappointment kept your hope breathing. Honor that resilience, because it is evidence that your destiny survived seasons designed to erase it.
And I call to the part of you that is ready, even if your knees tremble and your voice shakes at first. Readiness does not always feel like comfort. Sometimes it feels like holy pressure, sharpened awareness, and the refusal to remain small for the sake of familiar peace. You can be afraid and still obedient, uncertain and still moving, humbled and still crowned.
What was hidden is being revealed, but remember this, revelation is not the end of formation, only the beginning of a larger stewardship. You will keep growing, keep discerning, keep surrendering, and keep learning how to carry more without losing your center. The world does not need a perfect performance from you. It needs the authentic power of someone who survived the secret place and came out whole.
So receive this as a scarlet blessing over your path. Your delay was divine, your isolation intentional, your silence strategic, and your emergence appointed. Your roots are deep, your discernment is awakening, your circle is refining, and your next steps are being lit from within. Walk forward now, not as one begging to be seen, but as one prepared to illuminate, serve, endure, and transform what your presence touches.